Hey everybody, how are you today? It's your girl Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. And here on my channel, we discuss film, fashion, and finance. And today's video, darling, is gonna be a finance video. As you can see by the title, today we are talking about closing costs. If you've checked out my previous video that I did with my friend, we asked on our social media some questions that people had for first-time home buyers, what questions they had about the process of buying first home. So as we mentioned in that video, we both acquired our first homes in our 20s. I was able to, I'm a two-time home owner, which I was able to get both of my homes in my 20s. So check the video above to get more information on that. But I wanted to go more into closing costs because we didn't really touch too much on the closing costs. The closing cost is one thing that catch so many people by surprise. A lot of people do not plan ahead to budget for the closing costs because simply they're just unaware of all the things that are entailed in closing costs when purchasing your home. So this video is just gonna give a very brief rundown of some of the things you will have to save up for or include in your budget when looking to buy your first home. But before I continue, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It's so important to get this channel growing, and share. I need you guys to share this video. Sharing this video, there's only so much sharing I can do because my people already see my content all the time. I need you guys to share this video so you can reach your network, and this is how the channel grows. And also this information is going to be very valuable to somebody. So I need you guys to share. Stop right now. Hit the share button. Stop right now. Hit the subscribe button, like, leave a comment, and let's get into this video. I'm gonna just list out a few things that you need to consider when you are looking at closing costs. A lot of people don't take these stuff into consideration. Number one, you need to consider your lawyer fees, all your legal fees. That's one thing that I didn't really think about. That's one thing that kind of caught me off guard. A lot of people, when they're thinking about, okay, I want to buy a house, they're just thinking about, okay, I need to save up for my down payment. The down payment, yes, is a big part of it, obviously, but the closing costs is another thing. And you need to save up for your lawyer fees, because you need a lawyer when you're making a huge, important transaction as purchasing a home. You're going to need a lawyer because the lawyer looks over all the documents, looks over corporation documents, bylaws, looks into every little thing that you, unless you've gone to school for 10 years for, probably won't understand. So yeah, you need to pay a lawyer. And obviously we know lawyers aren't cheap. Minimum usually lawyer fee is like $500. So you definitely need to save for lawyer fees. Number two, home inspection fees. A home appraisal. So all the lenders that you're gonna go to are gonna require you to get a home appraisal, which is basically a home inspection where somebody will go in, check out the home to make sure the plumbing is good. And this is beneficial for you as the buyer. Make sure the plumbing is good. If there's any electrical issues or if there's anything, cracks in the wall, whatever. They come, they appraise the home, they do an inspection, they come back, they tell you, be like, listen, we noticed this with the plumbing and noticed this with the plumbing. So that way, this is good information for you so you can negotiate with the seller to be like, listen, I noticed this. Is there any way that you can fix it yourself? If not, then you need to take some money off of your asking price. But for somebody to come in and do that, you gotta obviously pay them. Home appraisal might cost you around $300 to $500 depending on what company you go with. As also I mentioned in the previous video, Rennie, she said that she was able to get the lender to reimburse her the appraisal fee. So that's something you want to look into. Number three, you're gonna need a deposit. A deposit is not the same as your down payment. The down payment is a down payment, but the deposit is kind of like a security holding check. So it's a way to kind of ease the seller's mind that, yeah, you're serious about this transaction. So most sellers will be like, okay, I need a deposit, which is a certain percentage of the down payment. I need that deposit by this date. So in that way, I know that you're serious about this transaction, so I'm not gonna look into other buyers. So you need to consider to have your deposit right up front. That's usually probably one of the first things that you're gonna have to pay right up front is your deposit. Number 4, which is something you need to consider. Maybe it's not a necessary closing cost right away, but this is something you can consider, which is mortgage default insurance, or CMHC fees. So you have to pay that if your down payment is going to be less than 20%. So if you want to avoid that fee, then you have to come up with a down payment which is 20% or more. If not, then you gotta pay that fee. So that's something you want to look into as well. Number 5, land transfer tax. Land transfer tax is obviously, you know, we live in Canada, and Canada is one of the highest tax country. You get taxed on literally everything. I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna start taxing us on the air pretty soon. But land transfer tax, that's something also you need to consider. If land transfer tax is calculated as a percentage of the purchase price of your home. So whatever the purchase price is of your home, the land transfer tax, you gotta pay a percentage of that, and usually that's included in the closing costs. Number 6, title insurance. So when you buy a house, the title of the house now gets transferred over to you. So you gotta pay title insurance. So most lenders, you know, they require title insurance to protect you against losses in the event that property ownership dispute and all that stuff. So it's kind of insurance against whatever dispute might come up. This is usually purchased through your lawyer. So I'm also looking at my notes because I make sure I took notes. I'm giving you proper information. This is usually purchased through your lawyer, and it can cost between like $100 to $300 to get that title insurance. I'm going rapid fire but don't worry, I'm gonna leave a link below so you can look into it more for your own, you know, more detail. Number 7, prepaid utility bills. Sometimes you're gonna have to pay upfront prepaid utility bills. So say if you move into a house at maybe like in the second week of the month, the previous owner might have already paid for that month. So you may have to reimburse them back, or you might be moving right at the top of the month, but the billing cycle still goes. And like the billing companies, utility companies, they're not gonna, you know, pause and wait for you to move in and all that stuff before they collect their money. So you might have to pay your utility bills up front first before you actually move in. I know I had to do that. Number 8, property taxes. So property tax is obviously property tax. You gotta pay tax on the property that you own. So that's not the same as the land transfer tax. Land transfer tax is you're paying taxes on the actual transaction of transferring the land ownership from one person to the other. Property taxes, okay, now it's yours. Now you gotta pay taxes on it. And again, kind of like the same concept as the utility bills. The property tax, you know, they're not, just because you're making a transaction and there's transfer of owner, they're not gonna be like, all right, we'll pause and we'll wait till you guys all settle your things down. No, they still want their money. So you gotta consider property tax and moving all that stuff now into your name. Number 9, property insurance. Most mortgage companies will not, most sales transactions will not be finalized until you get property insurance. So at least they want to be able to see that you've got some type of insurance on the property, whether it be fire insurance or whatever the different options that, you know, your insurance company has, but you got to get that property insurance, and that's something that you also need to consider in the closing costs. So that's 9 things that I was able to think of for closing costs. I'm gonna put a link to a website that I also looked into, which has a lot of amazing information that goes more into depth, where you can look into that even more to get more information on the closing costs. But yes, closing costs is a big deal. like I said, depending on all these things, you could be looking between, you know, paying out $1,500 to $2,000 or $2,000 plus in closing costs on top of your down payment. So you got to consider that, all that stuff. And then also, if you need to fix up anything on the property, that might be considered in the closing costs. So hopefully this video is helpful to somebody. Let me know, give me a thumbs up if this video is helpful. Let me know below if this video is helpful, and make sure, like I said before, to comment, like, subscribe to this channel so I can bring you more content such as this. If you have any other questions in regards to home ownership, buying a home, running a home, whatever, you know, monthly maintenance of a home in terms of certain things to look for, like mortgage payments, tax payments, whatever, shoot me a question and then I can look at maybe making a video of that. So thanks once again for watching. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and I will see y'all next time, darling.